Start your mindful breathing if you haven't already. Let your exhales allow you to settle just a little bit more into the here and now, into your body. Let your inhales feel like you're really expanding and becoming more and more into your body and into the environment around you. So start to awaken your senses, what you can smell, what you can taste, what you can hear, certainly what you can see, and what you can feel. And that can be your touch receptors on your skin, detecting the pressure points that you might be sitting upon, or the clothing on your skin, or maybe it's the cool air from a fan or something blowing on your bare skin. Just take in all of those awarenesses. And then let that awareness go deeper and deeper until you're right back there with your breath again, and trying to help those breaths be as deep and full and complete as they can be. A few more times. And then let's get right on into some easy going shoulder rolls, forward crawl stroke range of motion. Keep your breath flowing. Start to ease in a little bit more movement as it feels good. If it doesn't feel good, ease out a little bit and see if you can find a way to make it feel good. If you want to take it into bigger arms, reaches in all these different directions. A few more times. Some of us may have already been swimming a bit this summer. Maybe this is a stroke that you've been working on already here today. But even if you haven't been swimming yet, you know through our work together in these classes, these kind of movements should be more readily available to you whenever you might want them, I would like to think. Let's pause and go the opposite direction. Start subtle. Yes. Just knowing that you have this heightened body awareness, and knowing what your arms, each shoulder will allow. And then you can be that much more confident if you do choose to get into the water at some point, and however you choose to splash around or play, just to know that you've practiced so many of these movements and that your body awareness is heightened so that you can feel more confident and enjoy yourself. All right, few more times, any way it feels best to you. And then go ahead and balance out your shoulders, move out through your arms, shake out through your hands, and flick out through your fingers. Good. Move through your feet and your toes. Start to wake them up. Bring your awareness all the way down there. Lift your toes, maybe wiggle them around a bit. Ground your toes, lift your heels back and forth a few more times. Great. And then let's pick up your right foot, give it a little bit of clearance, go back to some pointing and flexing, or maybe you want to add in some more complex movement like circling the ankle, foot in each direction. Try to maybe energize through your toes as best you can. Kind of draw a big circle with your toes as best you could there. Yep, back to pointing and flexing. And place your right foot down. Take a nice full breath here. Tuck your chin down and into your chest as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen up, look up, and exhale again. Tuck your chin down and in. One more time, lifting up, looking up, lift your eyebrows too. And last time to tuck your chin down and in. And then elongate up through your spine. Lengthen all the way up through the crown of your head. Let's pick up your left foot a little bit away from the floor. Pointing and flexing, most important functional movement we want to be able to do here. But sometimes getting into some more complex movements like circling, energizing the toes, trying to draw shapes with your foot and your toes. That can help to energize the muscles and the connective tissue and the nervous system all the way down through the leg, through the foot, back to pointing and flexing eventually. And then place your left foot back on down, sitting upright, nice and tall. Another full, complete breath. This time, as you exhale, turn to look over your right shoulder, blinking, looking as far to the right as you can. Then we'll continue to breathe. Come back to center. Inhale. And as you exhale, turn your head to the left. Hold there, blinking, looking left. And then come back to a centered position. Now, inhale right here. Exhale, tilt your right ear over towards your right shoulder. Just ease into whatever degree of stretch that feels good. Still blinking, blinking, looking up, looking down. And then we'll inhale and bring your length up through the spine once again. Exhaling when you're ready. Left ear over towards your shoulder. Breathing, finding your way into a comfortable degree of stretch here. Blinking, looking up, looking down. And then on an inhalation, we'll come on up, long length of spine once again. Full, complete breaths. Use your hands on the sides of your chair to give yourself maybe just a little bit of a boost. Make sure that you're on the center of your sits bones as best you can, sitting upright, and engage through your deep core to some degree as you shift your body from right to left. That's it. Now you can make this more subtle, especially if there's any pain or discomfort in this. You could start to make it a little bit more of a swing out from one side to the other. You could turn it into a bit of a side crunch where you will be curving your spine and your rib cage, getting a little bit more movement and action. Certainly you're still engaged through your deep core, but it's a different kind of engagement. Also, making any movements that you can, going a little further forward on the seat of your chair, a little more on the front zone there. So you've got some room behind you. A couple more sways from right to left. And then eventually let's come on back to your centered position. Again, rooting down equally through both sits bones as best you can, sitting upright, nice and tall. Back down to the lower body, legs, alternate heel lifts, alternate toe and heel lifts if possible. Let's make fists on one hand and stretch out through the fingers on the other hand. So some kind of a rhythmic coordinated movement as best you can with the feet moving from heels to toes and your hands moving from fists to extended. Couple more. And then let's plant from your heels all the way down through your toes. Bring your hands up in front of you and let's rub them on together. And if it would feel good, maybe some squeezes around the hands or certain fingers, thumbs might like that, a little bit of gentle squeeze or massage around your wrists. That's it. And then if it feels comfortable for you to line up and move into prayer position where your palms are lined and your fingers as much together and symmetrical as it possibly can be. Let's do a little side to side wrist movement here, extension and flexion at your wrists. Good. And then point those fingers straight on up once again, inhaling and exhale. Let's go through a few rounds of robin's breath. Inhale again here. Exhale, reach forward and tuck your chin down. Inhale, open the arms out wide, look up, lift your eyebrows. Exhale, come forward, tucking your chin. Inhale, come in nice and close, and exhale right here. Now stay here as you inhale again, and as you exhale, reach as much out to your right as you comfortably can. It's fine if you're at a down angle or you're keeping it shorter lever, whatever feels good. And just turn your head and look as far to the right as you can. Maybe you can reach your arm back that way a little bit more, and then follow your right hand as you bring it back to your heart center. Take a breath. And then start to reach out to your left as much as is comfortable at any angle or shorter lever if you need to. And then turn your head to the left and reach around towards the left as far as you can, looking that way. And exhaling, eventually come on back to your heart center. Very good. Now here, let's hold all the fingers and interlace them in together. So the blooming flower exercise, this is like a lot of hand dexterity here. So just do the best you can. Now that we have so many flowers that are blooming, flowers come in all shapes and sizes practically. So you're letting the petals of your flower extend and bloom and open to the best of their ability, knowing that whatever it is, it's glorious as a flower knows it is, no matter what kind it is. Take a nice deep breath in, take that scent. And exhale, just let it infuse you all through you, knowing it's just the most delectable, blissful scent that you could possibly have asked for. Hands coming back together, give them some rubs and maybe some squeezes. And then let's do one more blooming flower and try to opposite interlace your hands this time for it. Okay. And starting with just a couple fingers at a time, even maybe trying to isolate like one finger at a time, which is pretty much impossible, but you could try with added practice. You might gain some of that ability because that does lead to greater dexterity, or at least it's a nice challenge for yourself. Let your flower bloom. Feel like it's coming right from your heart center. Big, open, radiant. Deep breath in. Feel that scent and let it just spread all around you as you shake your arms on out. Excellent job. Well done. Sitting tall. Nice tone through your deep core. Let's rock back and forth. And using your hands to support yourself in any ways, that long length of spine, that solid strength all throughout here. Maybe you can add in some arm curls and arm reaches as you rock slowly, slow and controlled, and really pay attention to how it feels. You can always make it a more subtle range of motion. You may need to at times. So take that as it comes, day to day. And for those that might want a little bit more of a challenge, if you want to rock back, lean back, keep the length of your spine. Obviously, a lot of strength, a lot of tone needed here. Find your breath. Do breathe. And then when you're ready, you can come up and out, sitting tall once again. Let's get right into deeper belly breaths now. Probably very different kind of breathing than you were doing as we were doing those rocking exercises. So now we're letting things like expansion and movement really come down into this area that we were just very deliberately strengthening and toning. So that was gone for its real activated state to now its more expanded and dynamic state. Good. Okay. Letting the breath settle into what feels like a comfortable, normal breath for you. And let's go with the robin's breath once again. This time, hands coming together. Inhale up through the length of your spine. Exhale, reach forward, tucking your chin, and tilt your pelvis back a bit. Then, when you're ready to inhale, open wide. Try tilting your pelvis forward a bit. Expand open. Exhale, reaching forward. Tuck the pelvis back. Inhale, elongate up through your spine and exhale. Let's do that again. Inhale, exhale, dive forward, tuck back. Inhale, opening wide, tuck forward. And exhale, reach forward. Inhale, up through the length of your spine. And exhale, let your arms shake on out beside you. Excellent. Okay, toning once again. You can do alternate heel lifts as we did before, or marching steps. Marching steps where you can be supporting yourself, finding a rhythmic flow as best you can. Once you find that rhythmic flow, you can take it in several different directions. So you could stomp down harder, you could lift your knees higher, you could go faster, you could go slower. You could bring your arms in along with your marching steps. Maybe it works better to slow it down at first. Then if you want to go faster, if that feels right, you could. So we're going to try to go for maybe another minute or so, but honestly, it's all about what your body really feels right about without going into exhaustion. We might get a little bit of fatigue going, a little bit of muscle burn, feeling your body working. It's great to really activate the nervous system this much, coordinating your upper body with your lower body. Got about 30 more seconds. If you got it in you, you know you can always listen to and honor your body and do what feels best for you. Stomping harder, lifting higher, slowing it down. All these are great options. Can we go for just a little bit longer? I'm slowing mine down. Not that it makes it that much easier. Awesome. All right, I think I'm at my threshold. I'm going to take a pause. You take it whenever you need to and sit up nice and tall. Get back into your deep belly breaths. Ah, very good. Let's do a right arm reach when you're ready. Sweeping out, reaching up any way that feels best for you. Feel through that right shoulder of yours, reaching, stretching, opening, expanding. Move through all of your right fingers wherever they may be. Good. Inhale, and as you exhale, let's do the A sound, lowering this arm down. Here we go. A, all the way through. Return to your breath. Swallow. Get yourself settled, balanced, and when you're ready, let's try left arm, reach, extend, support, whatever you need here. Easing through awareness, stretch to any degree through your left shoulder, left side body, and wherever your hand is, let's move through all those left fingers. Good. Beautiful. Now get ready to make the E sound as we lower this arm down slowly. So lick your lips, get ready to peel them back away from your teeth. Here we go. E, all the way down and through as long as you can. Return to your breath, swallow intentionally. Good. Okay, back to hands back at heart center. You can rub them a little bit here, help them to balance out. You can even do a few starfish push-ups here if you would like to. Pressing the pads of your fingers together, kind of creating a ball shape, moving in and out slowly. Getting some stretch, getting a little stability through those finger joints. Good. Now, try to create as much of a ball shape right out there in front of you, kind of in front of your heart center, and imagine that that's the sun. Imagine that's the radiant sun, and it's, of course, beaming upon you and radiating your whole room and environment. Now, we're going to take the sun into our right hand and follow it with our gaze as you reach your right arm out to any degree, reaching around as far as you can, and then bring your sun back slowly back to your heart center where you will take a breath or two, feel that radiance and that balance right in between here. And then when you're ready, feel that sun going in your left hand, extending and opening around that direction, looking that way and slowly bringing it back around so that radiant sun is once again right out there in front of you, as much of that ball shape as you can create. Now, depending on your shoulders and arms, how would it feel to lift the sun up above you a little bit? Maybe you're just going as high as your chin or your forehead. Maybe some can kind of hover the sun right above the top of your head. Others maybe could be lifting that sun up a little bit higher, whatever feels best to you. Taking a nice few full breaths. Good. And then when we exhale, we're going to separate the arms down and we're going to go with our last three vowel sounds. So we've got I, O, U. So take a nice full inhalation and then separate. I, O, U. All the way through and down. You can shake out a little bit. That's it. Very good. Again, hands out in front of you. Reach them fingertips forward. Open wide, inhaling. Exhale, come forward, cross your right arm over top of the left. Inhale, opening wide once again. Exhale, left arm over the right. As you feel through your arms and your shoulders, your upper body mostly, and the neck too, in this particular position, then maybe you can bend the elbows and reach around if it feels good to you to do so. You can always keep it more subtle, just crossing over at the wrists or the forearms at front. Some of you might be using a downward angle a little bit more. Whatever feels good, crossing right over left and left over right. And then one more time, opening really, really wide, bending at the elbows, sitting up nice and tall, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. Inhale, and as we exhale, we'll go A-E-I-O-U all the way through. Ready? A-E-I-O-U. All the way through and shake out or roll out through those shoulders. Well done, everyone. Okay, back to some marching steps, please, or alternate heel lifts. Good. Happy solstice, happy solstice, happy solstice, happy solstice. Plant your feet on down, sit upright nice and tall. Take just your right knee on your in your hand here to guide it a little bit out and in and out and in and out and in. One more time. Then we'll switch over. Left hip guiding out and in to any degree that feels good and in And in and out. One more time, and then plant. Coming back to the right leg, maybe you can pick it up this time. Give it some support with your right hand, all right? And then as you feel a rhythm that works good, and you're obviously in a pain-free range of motion, maybe you can bring your left arm out and forward as well. Yes, very good. So we're inhaling, opening wide, exhale, coming forward. And you might envision that sun image that we brought out before that was hovering in front of our heart center. Now we're expanding it out and around us that much more. This radiant, glorious sun right from our heart center all the way through. One more time, out and in and forward and down, sitting up nice and tall. Before we do the left leg, something similar, let's do either alternate heel lifts or marching steps. Happy solstice, happy solstice, happy solstice, happy solstice. Sitting up tall, picking up your right or left leg, or giving it the support you did before as you explore a pain-free range of motion on the left side, out of the hip. When you've discovered what feels right for you, right arm might be also going along, out and forward. Breathing, inhale, exhale, forward. You can even be turning your head to follow your arm or whatever feels best. A few more times. Good. And then eventually we'll come on forward and down and plant and sit upright nice and tall. Let's do double shoulder rolls. Forward, up, back, and down. A few more. Excellent. And then settle those arms and shoulders a little bit more back and down. This time, arms reaching forward to any degree, crossing your right arm over the left, and see how far you can reach around. Reach around. Maybe you're going to grab closer to your elbows. Maybe you can start squeezing around there somewhere. Some of you might be able to reach a little further around to your shoulders. Start to squeeze yourself a bit around there. Maybe some of you can even, maybe even just your right hand, you could even support it as you bring your right hand across towards your left upper shoulder into the neck area. Maybe you can give yourself a squeeze on massage with that. May not feel right to you, just give yourself support any way that feels good here. And then if you want to do a little bit of head movement to stretch out through the neck, make sure that your arms and shoulders are comfortable in whatever position you're choosing. So that could be a chucking of your chin down and in, or tilting of your head off to the right and up through the spine if you're going to join me tilting off to the other side. And then eventually back up and long length of spine, maybe a few more squeezes, anyhow it feels good to you. And then we can release and shake those arms on out alongside. Good. Reaching the arms out in front. Crossing your left arm over the right and wrapping around, reaching around. How does it feel best for you? What's doable? It really depends on the length of your arms and how the mobility is out of the shoulders. It's going to be different for all of us, and it will be probably different from one side to the other. So reaching around, squeezing, massaging, wherever, if it works for you to kind of support your left hand with your, or left arm with your right hand and reach that left hand around to your right shoulder, giving some squeezes up along through there. That's it. Good. And then eventually, if you want to kind of balance it out as best you can, make it comfortable for yourself, then maybe some additional head movements that would be stretching through your neck in some really nice ways. Breathe. And just do whatever you need to do to feel complete in your massage and your head positionings and any kind of release that feels wonderful. When you're ready, lower arms on down and shake them on out. Excellent job. Then just doing these shoulder shrugs up as you inhale and exhaling down. But if the arms will allow and feels okay for you, let's inhale, arms reaching up as much as you can comfortably. Exhale, coming down. Well, I can share that one of my favorite things about this time of the year is the sunsets. I'm really a big sunset person, more than a sunrise person personally. So I really get to enjoy the long, colorful sunsets that we get here. So your arms and your shoulder movements can be an example of the energy of the rising sun as you reach up and inhale, and the setting sun with that ah that you often say or probably feel at least when you're gazing upon the gorgeous colors of the setting sun in summertime. Ah, feels so good to take it all in. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. Ah, very good. Let those shoulders relax. Maybe you want to roll them out or massage them out or whatever would feel really good. But then let's pick up our right leg, give it some support, clearance from the floor, extending and bending through your right knee. Extend, get a flex, and maybe a point through the ankle. Great. And then let's hold that leg extended out there. Really flex your foot, press out through your heel, feel some stretch. Maybe you want to lower the heel more down towards the floor. Maybe you want to lift it up higher. Be careful, whatever you're doing there. Don't overstretch. That's it. And then bending at that knee, if it would feel good, hug it up and in and lower back down. Sitting tall. Switching over to your left leg, give it some support. Extend and bend round through that knee. Feeling that awesome action of the quad muscles and the hamstrings working together to do this action. Very functional movement here. And then eventually let's go for a full extension. Really stretch through the back of the leg, press through your heel, flex through the foot. Choose a different angle if you want to with how your leg is positioned or supported. That's it. And then when you feel complete on that side, bending, maybe hugging, and lower back down. Both feet sitting upright, nice and tall. We're going to do some nerve glides next. So very similar to some things that we've done. We're going to coordinate the movements together as closely as possible so that we will be gliding your central nervous system and the branching off nerves that go down through the leg and into your foot or the heel area. So we're actually going to give them a little bit of glide or kind of like flossing gently up and down to maintain the health of the nerves themselves and the connective tissue surrounding them as well. So we'll start by supporting your right leg. Go for as much extension and flexion in the knee slowly that you can. Then the next time you're flexing at the knee, tuck your chin down and in. The next time you're extending out at the knee, lift your chin looking up. Don't let your head drop back though. Tucking chin, bending at the knee in, extending the leg, lifting the chin, looking up. Let's do about 3 or 4 more of these. Try your best to coordinate the bending or the straightening of the knee with the tucking or the lifting of your chin. One more. And then finally, we'll just bend at the knee, look straight ahead, plant the foot on down, sitting upright nice and tall. And then let's transfer over right to the left leg, give it support, extending and bending. And then the next time you bend at the knee, tuck your chin down and in. Extending at the knee, lift the chin, look up. Exhale, bend, tuck. Inhale, extend, look up. A few more times. And then when you feel complete on this side for you, looking straight ahead, bending and planting that foot back on down, sitting upright, nice and tall, full, complete breaths. Feeling like a side body stretch would be really good about now. So we'll start with your right side body. You might have your left hand on the side of your chair, giving yourself a little more support. Now you can choose a shorter lever, longer lever. We're going to try to go into maybe a little bit more of an opening expansion through your right side here. So it's fine if you keep your elbow bent, rested on your head. You know, you can even put it across your shoulder like this, but whatever helps you feel like you can get a little bit more of this expansion through your side body and take a few full breaths. Now, turn your chin down a little more towards your left shoulder so you're looking more or less down. Good. And then looking straight ahead, Tilting your head maybe a little bit more over to the left if that feels good. Take another full breath in and out. Inhale as you lengthen back up through your spine, and exhale as you lower your arm down slowly. Take a few movements out there that feel good. And then again, with the left side body expanding and opening, maybe you'll want the right arm, hand to support you over there somewhere. And then choose how it's going to be best for you to support your arm, your shoulder, and your body in a way so that you can really focus on getting this opening expansion through your left side. Full, complete breaths. And if you'd like, go ahead and turn your head so your chin's a little bit more over towards your right shoulder. And then point your nose straight ahead of you. Maybe your head's tilted a little bit more over to the right. Good. One more full breath in and out. And then inhale to re-lengthen up through your spine, and exhale, slowly lower your arm on down. Move out, shake out, roll out, whatever would feel really good to you. Excellent job. Well done. I want to isolate the pelvic area here in the lumbar spine. And now that we've loosened up our hips too, you might find you can get a little bit more pelvic tilting in as we tilt the pelvis forward. Inhale, tilt the pelvis back. Exhale. Just try to find as much of a range of motion here that feels good, knowing that you're really massaging your lumbar area and your internal organs, the abdominal organs, and really helping yourself kind of feel really connected to your center, your deep core. And in yogic philosophy, we have the energy centers that the seven major ones that run up and down the length of the spine and up to the crown of the head. And one of the major chakras, energy centers, is associated with the brilliance and radiance of the sun. And it's right here in your solar plexus area here. So take a few moments to place your hands here, sitting up nice and tall. Take a few deep belly breaths and maybe imagine a beautiful, radiant sunlight shining out in all directions here, bathing your body from the inside out. This energy center is associated with the energetics of self control and self love and self feeling of confidence and knowing where your radiance is, knowing the light that exists within you, knowing that you have this strong deep core that's there to help keep you balanced and centered. Self empowerment, all these things associated with that sunlight radiance in your solar plexus region. When you feel ready, you can release those arms and shake your hands on out beside you. Picking up your right leg, give it a little support. You can do a little more out and in just to get the hip ready for our figure four pose of the day. So taking that leg, that knee up and out to whatever degree feels good. Feel free to grab props and make that angle be best for you so that there's no pain or strain in any of the joints here. And feel into your right hip joint, opening out or lifting it a little bit more up, or anything in between. Good. Now, oftentimes I'll suggest this pose so that you can get more connection to your leg and your foot. But before we would do that, I would suggest finding a way that you can be just comfortable in sitting here and start to move through your mouth and your lips. So moisten your lips again, and then open and close. Fish lips, open and close. A few more times. Good. All right. Then if you can, release the leg into whatever position that's comfortable. Maybe it stays there. Maybe you want to put it down to another position. And if you need to do a little bit more warming or energizing of your hands, you can. And then feel the pads of your fingers, whichever ones that you want to explore. And just start with just gentle presses around your jaw, around the mandible. part here where there's often some very tight connective tissue and muscles. So just little gentle presses up and around the jaw, up and around the ears if that feels right to you, and maybe even around to the center point of your jaw, taking some breaths. Good. Now, if you need to change your leg position to be more comfortable, if you want to stay here a little bit longer, you can. Also, you have the option here in this next one to kind of let your head come forward. So you're doing maybe a little bit of a forward fold and adding in those finger pads around the bony portion of your skull, around your eyes. So as you let your chin come forward a little bit, head is kind of moving down. It might be more on your forehead that you have your finger pads kind of gently supporting and pressing, maybe some massage around the eyes, maybe even pressing into the sinuses, right on the opposites, the bridge of the nose there in some way, sinus cavities around the lower eyes, out to the temples, whatever feels good. Few more breaths. And then when you feel complete, we'll lift up the head, maybe rub out through the fingers. Maybe now you do want to massage a little bit of this right lower leg or ankle or foot. Uh-huh. And then when you feel complete with any of that, go ahead and put your right foot back on down. Sitting tall. Let's do arm reaches, both of them if it's comfortable to any degree that feels good. Big, full inhalation. And on the exhale, we're going to say happy solstice. Here we go. Happy solstice! Yay! All right, now let's start to explore your left hip, and then when feeling ready to explore the best way of angling it out and lifting up to whatever degree feels good. So your figure four pose that feels good, might be exploring different angles out of the hip for a while. Breathing, making any modifications you need to make this feel good, because we might be holding a figure four like position for a little while. So explore, make it feel right. And then eventually, as you feel like you could settle into a comfortable position without necessarily needing your hands for support of that leg, so you may be changing things up a little bit. And if you feel ready, starting again with the jaw area, jaw around the cheeks, maybe even moving down along the neck, the sides of the neck, or up and around the ears. Gentle presses, maybe small circles, or just whatever feels good to you here, but be gentle. I'm going along my hairline this time, from the jawline upward. You can also tilt your head forward again and let your hands, your finger pads kind of support the weight of your head a little bit if that feels good. Little gentle presses, deep, full breaths. And stay with it as long as you would like. Maybe you're ready to transfer your hands down to your left lower leg, ankle, or foot to give that a little bit of attention. And then whenever you feel complete with your figure four stretch and self massage, then placing your left foot back on down. Placing the feet equally as you sit up nice and tall, full complete breaths with some double shoulder rolls, forward, up, back, and down. Okay, next, we're going to go through our mindful transition series. So, practicing all those steps in a very mindful way, strengthening and toning every time we do. And for some of us, that'll mean an actual transition that'll eventually take us down to the floor. But let's take advantage of this time and the mindful connection we have to our body and the present moment to go through these steps, knowing that they'll be there for us when we most need them. And so rocking, squeezing the block if you have it there. Moving up a little bit more if you want to, little chair dip, pressing hands on the chair somewhere so you can give a little bit of a lift up out of the chair. Good. Taking a rest, massaging out wrists or anything else you might need. You can also hold poses for longer now too, especially if you want to boost yourself into a squat pose. If you're feeling ready, just know where your feet are. Have them equally positioned, not too narrow though. Give a squeeze to your block, or at least try to engage your inner thighs and lifting up and engaging throughout your deep core. That includes your low back area. Hands are there to always help guide you in or out of the chair if you need it. That's good. And then you can take a pause, take a little rest, focus on whatever part of the transition series you would like to. And for some, that may mean actually practicing some full standing up and slow, controlled sitting back on down. You take it any way you want to, though, for the next, let's say, a whole minute or so, practicing any part of the transition series, or you could go through all the different steps. Holding a squat or holding a chair dip for a little bit would be extra strengthening, making sure your deep core is really engaged throughout it all as best you can. Good. I'm going to go back to some of the basic steps, strengthening, toning, good body awareness stuff. Good. And so you can take a rest, take a pause if you would like, because you have the choice next to either come back seated to the chair for a seated forward fold, or if you want to transition down towards the floor, mindfully taking the time and the support that you need to either come down onto hands and knees for child's pose. Not everyone's knees or ankles can agree with this pose. So I just wanted to throw it out there as an option. Child's pose is another form of a forward fold, or making your way all the way onto your back. And then from there, either hugging one knee at a time into your chest or both knees at the same time. So all different versions of a forward fold. Now, if you're laying down on your back, you might do a little bit of rocking from side to side if that feels good, or if you're just hugging one knee in at a time, you want to switch over here pretty soon. If you're doing a forward fold in your chair, try to let your body really relax forward and down, whether it's supported by your bolster or your arms or your legs. Taking nice, deep, full breaths, whatever it is, whatever version of a forward fold you're choosing. And then from there, let's do a full body stretch out. So could be reaching, lengthening back up through your spine, reaching just one arm and one leg up and out as best you can. Maybe you're leaning back in your chair. And then you could take a few full breaths and then center yourself so that you can stretch out, extend through the opposite side of your body. Or for some, you might be able to stretch through both arms and both legs up and out to the fullest extent that you can, full, complete breaths. And once you feel like you've balanced yourself out pretty good from right to left, do take a few moments to do something very symmetrical in your body. So bending both knees, planting both feet, doing some pelvic tilts, maybe a little bit of a bridge pose, something that's fairly symmetrical, engaging each side of the body equally. And that could be just sitting upright, nice and tall in your chair. Then we're going to set up for a spinal twist. So both feet planted, knees bent. And for those of you sitting in the chair, you're going to want to sit upright as tall as you can. For those of us on the floor, let's try broadening out across the chest and shoulders, reaching your arms out in opposite directions. Then when you feel ready, relaxed as you can be, you might have some support as you take your legs over towards the left and relax into any degree of a spinal twist. So on the floor, supine spinal twist. Your upper body stays stationary, the shoulders flush with the floor, legs and hips and pelvis are shifted off to the left to any degree. For those of you in the chair, sitting upright, nice and tall, and your hips and your lower body stay stationary as you are rotating your chest and shoulders and the turn of your head, whichever direction you would like to go in. Now, we might like to take advantage of this pose to be somewhat restorative. That means making sure that your body feels very well supported and so that your body can relax into that support even more. And you're in touch with your breath, your full, complete breaths, and letting layers of resistance and tension and fatigue all letting go gradually and gradually as you hold this pose longer. Checking in with your head and your neck positioning. If there's anything different you could do to help your neck and your face feel even more relaxed, ready to let go. If you have a hand available and it's easy to reach and you want to do a little bit more self-massage, maybe there's some areas of your neck or jaw or face that you could massage a bit here. Just try to stay as relaxed as you can. And of course, some of you might be feeling like it's time to come out of your spinal twisted position. So you'll center yourself and then prepare to go to the other side. For others, feel free to stay in it longer. It may take your body a little bit longer to really get the deepening stretch, the real letting go that you feel you may need or want on this side. So whenever you do feel ready, squaring off, balancing out, making any little adjustments, and then mindfully going into your opposite side spinal twist, very much the same as you did on the first side. Giving your body support in some way. If you're sitting in the chair, try to stay as upright, lengthen through your spine as you can, turning the opposite way, breathing as deeply as you can. On the floor, feel free to provide support to the legs, to the hip. Maybe you can release your neck a little bit more. And if you're making it into a bit of a restorative pose for yourself here, try staying another minute at least longer. If you're feeling ready to come out, complete enough with the spinal twist and the deep stretching and the internal massage that you give yourself when you're breathing deeply, then you can come on back to your centered position anytime you're ready. And then taking some movements, little adjustments back at your center. And then take those moments to just move and stretch in any way that would feel so good to you. What does your body want to do? Some kind of a forward fold again, or maybe it's a full body stretch out. Please take all the time you need here, though. Stretching, moving, making adjustments. And some of you may be getting ready to go into our relaxation and meditation for the final part of our practice today, but no rush. And do bring in those supportive props that you know will help you feel best as we slowly do take that movement towards final relaxation. So do find your way into your most comfortable position. And see if you could let your lips part and your face and head to relax as much as you can. And if it's comfortable for you, let your limbs spread out just a little bit more. So if you could let your arms relax maybe a little bit further out away from your body. I hope you're in a reclined position for this. This is meant to be a relaxation experience. And if it's comfortable for you to separate your legs a little bit further apart and let them be comfortably relaxed. And then feel through the length of your spine from the base, the tip of the tailbone. Just kind of gradually feel up a nice, soft, warming glow from the base of your tailbone up through the lumbar region, the thoracic region, attaching the ribs, and through the upper back and into the cervical spine, your neck, and all the way into the base of your skull. Now, bring awareness to the top of your head with your eyes closed and your face soft. Feel the radiant sun beaming down on the crown of your head. This is a benevolent, nourishing, healing sunlight. So it has the ability to penetrate in deep, all the way into your brain. Feeling soothed by this radiance and warmth, and really feeling that healing effect. Maybe it's slightly tingling. And once again, from the radiant sun beaming down and saturated throughout your brain, both sides, all the lobes, right through the center. We're once again gonna bring that radiant light to the base of the skull and very gradually moving down your spine this time. Top of the neck, cervical spine, upper back, thoracic spine. You might pause there right in the center of your torso in the area of the solar plexus where the thoracic spine and the lumbar spine meet. This whole region associated with the radiant sun, self-empowerment, self-love, self-care, self-knowing. Taking some nice full breaths. Keeping that radiance in your solar plexus still beaming out in all directions, and just let the spinal radiation from the top move down through your lumbar spine to your sacrum, all the way to the tip of the tailbone. And then let your whole body bask in this radiant, nourishing, healing sunlight. Basking down on you, or maybe you can imagine yourself floating gently with it all around you. It's healing and it's nourishing. You're feeling so well supported. It feels good to let go into this support. You might even realize that this energy is not just warm and healing and nourishing, but it's also full of love. Pure, unconditional love. Bask in it. Let yourself be renewed, restored, and ready for what the next great turn of the seasons will be bringing. And bring your attention once again to your solar plexus. Feel your body moving with your breath here in this region, the mid torso, upper belly, mid back. Feel that radiance merging with the lower areas of your torso, nourishing and soothing and healing down to the lower belly, low back, pelvis, hips. Also feel this radiance in your solar plexus merging as it radiates upward throughout your chest, throughout your heart center, throughout your whole upper torso. So you've merged your lower energy centers with your upper energy centers, the heart. And bring a smile to your face. Stay as relaxed as you can, but just bring that smile to your face as if the sun is beaming down on you, smiling at you, and you are smiling back. And then starting to awaken your body very slowly with gentle movements, fingers and hands, legs, feet, toes. Deepening breaths, maybe stretching outward through your legs or through your arms in any direction that feels good. Turning your head gently from side to side. Opening the eyes, gazing around you with a sense of gratitude and awe. And any other little movements, bigger movements if you're ready, stretching until you feel ready to begin that transition, mindful transition from your reclined position slowly more up to a seated position that is comfortable for you. Support yourself internally. Know that you are empowered with that energy of the sunlight within you, supporting you, nourishing you, radiating out from you. And again, like feeling that connection to the heart center to the solar plexus or the navel center here. So you could either rest one hand in each of these areas and kind of feel them bridging together energetically. Or you can bring that lower hand up and form your prayer position at the heart center, knowing it all comes together. And taking some full breaths mindfully in gratitude in celebration of the summer solstice and all the light and the love that we get to share and be a part of. Thank you all so much for being here today. Namaste.